Welcome back to the Legends Never Die channel. Over the past few days, we've received heartbreaking news about the loss of some truly remarkable talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. We'll also take a moment to reflect on the stars we've recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these incredible individuals has touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up as a gesture of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
New record by a truck driver named Elvis Presley. It was called That's All Right Mama. That's all.
Wink Martindale, the beloved game show host celebrated for his charming personality and lasting impact on television, passed away on April 15th, 2025, at the age of 91. He died in Rancho Mirage, California, after a battle with lymphoma. It's hard to imagine the game show world without this legendary figure. Born Winston Conrad Martindale on December 4th, 1933, in Jackson, Tennessee, Wink began his career as a radio announcer, landing his first disc jockey job at just 18 years old. His early experience in radio laid the foundation for his later television success, where he became a household name as the host of iconic shows like Gambit, Tic-Tac-Dough, and Det. His quick wit and on-the-fly thinking, skills sharpened during his radio days, made him a natural in front of the camera. Over the course of his career, Martindale hosted nearly 20 game shows, captivating audiences with his charisma and smooth delivery. Beyond hosting, he was also a recording artist. In 1959, his spoken word hit Deck of Cards, a touching story about a soldier, sold over 1 million copies and earned a gold record. Wink's talents weren't limited to hosting and music. He also produced and hosted several shows, including Headline Chasers and Bumper Stumpers. His contributions to entertainment were recognized with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2006 and an induction into the Game Show Hall of Fame in 2007. Known for his warm demeanor and professionalism, Wink Martindale left an indelible mark on both television and radio. He is survived by his wife, Sandra Farah, his 3 daughters from a previous marriage, and numerous grandchildren. His passing marks the end of an era, but his influence on game show entertainment will live on, inspiring generations to come. In the world of fairy tales, we often long for a happy ending, but in real life, not every story gets one. Now, we turn to another heartbreaking loss, the familiar voice that brought comfort to millions through BBC Radio 2.
50531. Well, that's funny. That's still Debbie's number.
Clem Burke, the powerhouse drummer whose electrifying rhythms were the heartbeat of one of rock's most iconic bands. Born on November 24, 1954, in Bayonne, New Jersey, Clem discovered his passion for drumming at an early age. By 1975, he had joined Blondie, and from that moment on, music history was changed forever. With his crisp backbeats and boundless energy, Clem helped shape the band's signature sound, from the raw punk vibes of X-Offender to the disco groove of Heart of Glass and the reggae-infused swing of The Tide is High. No matter the style, Clem's rhythm was the glue that held it all together. But Clem Burke wasn't just a drummer. He was a force of nature. His dynamic stage presence, often ending with a dramatic leap over his drum kit, lit up arenas across the globe. Over the years, he collaborated with some of the biggest names in music, including Bob Dylan, Iggy Pop, Joan Jett, and Pete Townshend, leaving an unmistakable mark on every genre he touched. Even during Blondie's 15-year hiatus, Clem never slowed down. He stayed active in the studio, played with multiple bands, and continued to inspire with his relentless passion and versatility. In 2011, his dedication to drumming earned him an honorary doctorate after an 8-year study on the physical demands of the craft. That same year, He co-founded new projects like the International Swingers and the Empty Hearts, proving his creative spark never faded. Clem Burke passed away on April 6, 2025, at the age of 70, after a private battle with cancer. His legacy lives on in the pulse of every beat he played, in the songs, the memories, and the lives he touched. Which Blondie song instantly brings Clem's drumming to mind? Share it in the comments below, and let's celebrate the life and rhythm of a man who truly never missed a beat. As Clem once reflected, "It's all I ever wanted. I started out with very low self-esteem and thought, if only I could get the world to love me." Clem, you did, and you always will.
In life, gets their absolute wishes answered.
Richard Chamberlain was a timeless American actor whose elegance, talent, and magnetic presence captivated audiences for more than 6 decades. Born on March 31, 1934, in Los Angeles, California, he began his artistic journey as a classically trained actor, but it was his breakout role in the 1960s medical drama, Dr. Kildare, that catapulted him to international fame. As the charismatic young doctor, Chamberlain became a household name and a heartthrob, earning a Golden Globe and cementing his place in television history. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, he reigned as the king of the miniseries, delivering unforgettable performances in Shogun, The Thornbirds, and The Bourne Identity. Each role highlighted his remarkable range and emotional depth, earning him further acclaim and additional Golden Globe honors. Chamberlain's artistry wasn't confined to the screen. He thrived on the stage as well, taking on leading roles in productions like My Fair Lady, The Sound of Music, and The Night of the Iguana. He also explored other creative outlets, including music, writing, and painting. Each expression a testament to his multifaceted talent. Even in his later years, Chamberlain remained a relevant and respected figure in entertainment, making memorable guest appearances on series such as Will and Grace, Desperate Housewives, and Twin Peaks. His enduring presence proved that true talent never fades. On March 29, 2025, just 2 days before his 91st birthday, Richard Chamberlain passed away peacefully in Hawaii due to complications from a stroke. He is survived by his longtime partner, Martin Rabbit, and leaves behind a legacy rich with artistry, grace, and humanity. Richard Chamberlain was more than just a leading man. He was a cultural icon whose performances resonated through generations, inspiring through both story and soul.
I figured Tony would come out first because he's the bigger star. And thank
Bob Newhart's brilliance didn't shout. It whispered with wit, timing, and a quiet kind of genius that left a lasting impression. From the moment his debut comedy album, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, soared to the top of the Billboard charts in 1960, it was clear he had discovered a timeless voice in comedy. That groundbreaking album earned him 3 Grammy Awards and introduced the world to a new style of humor, one built on awkward silences, gentle absurdities, and the subtle charm of human vulnerability. As television evolved, Newhart became a staple in American homes. The Bob Newhart Show and Newhart, 2 iconic sitcoms, cemented his reputation for turning the ordinary into the hilariously extraordinary. Over 16 years on CBS, he played characters who, like the rest of us, often seemed bewildered by the world around them. And in doing so, he created comedy that felt deeply human. Even as the years passed, Bob Newhart remained a beloved and relevant figure. His Emmy-winning performance as Professor Proton on The Big Bang Theory, along with his appearances in Elf and Young Sheldon, introduced his understated brilliance to a whole new generation. Off-screen, he continued performing stand-up, penned a memoir, and was celebrated with some of comedy's highest honors, including induction into the Television Hall of Fame and the prestigious Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Bob Newhart passed away at the age of 94 in Los Angeles, following a series of brief illnesses. He leaves behind a legacy defined by innovation, humility, and grace, along with 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and millions of fans who found laughter and comfort in his quiet genius. It's okay to cry. Because with Bob Newhart, every pause, every line, every moment mattered, and his memory will keep making us smile for years to come.
Yeah, I think all songwriters and performers are...
Breaking news: Neil Diamond, overcoming Parkinson's and embracing a new chapter. What lies ahead for Neil Diamond, the legendary singer-songwriter whose music has touched the hearts of millions? For over 5 decades, Neil Diamond has gifted the world with timeless classics like Sweet Caroline, Cracklin' Rosie, and Song Sung Blue. His powerful voice and heartfelt lyrics have left a lasting impact on generations of fans. But behind the spotlight, Diamond's journey has been one of personal challenges, health battles, and remarkable growth. Born on January 24, 1941, in Brooklyn, New York, Neil was drawn to music from a young age. He began by writing songs for others before stepping into the limelight himself. By the 1970s, he had become a household name, celebrated for his captivating performances and emotionally rich songwriting. Yet, like many artists, his path wasn't without hardships. Throughout his career, Neil faced the pressures of fame, personal struggles, and the ongoing challenge of balancing a public career with a private life. In 2018, a life-changing moment arrived when Neil was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement and coordination. The diagnosis forced him to step away from touring, a decision that marked a major turning point. Sharing the news with his fans, he expressed both shock and gratitude for their unwavering support. Though no longer performing live, Neil refused to let Parkinson's define his identity. He redirected his creative energy, continuing to write and record music. In 2020, he released Acoustic Christmas, a stripped-down, emotionally resonant holiday album that reminded fans of his enduring talent and soul. "I loved my audience," Diamond said in a recent interview. "The energy of performing was like nothing else." Despite the profound loss of touring, he chose to adapt with grace, embracing change rather than resisting it. That resilience became a defining feature of this new chapter in his life. Over time, Neil has shared that he's found peace, learning to accept the reality of his condition while reflecting on what truly matters. "Peace comes from within," he once said, "not from what the world thinks of me." His influence extends far beyond his music. Sweet Caroline, for instance, has become a global anthem of joy, unity, and celebration. It's sung in stadiums, school assemblies, and celebrations around the world, proof that his music continues to bring people together across generations. Today, Neil Diamond lives a quieter life, focused on personal reflection, family, and inner peace. While he has no plans to return to the stage or recording studio, his impact remains as powerful as ever. Fans continue to honor his work, finding comfort and inspiration in his lyrics and life story. In addition to his musical achievements, Neil has long supported charitable causes, especially those focused on children's health and education. His philanthropic efforts reflect the compassion and generosity that have always been part of who he is, not just as an artist, but as a human being. Neil Diamond's journey from global stardom to facing Parkinson's with courage is a testament to resilience, creativity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. While we may no longer see him performing live, his music continues to resonate, offering hope, comfort, and inspiration to fans around the world. As he embraces this new chapter, we're reminded of the lasting power of art and perseverance. Neil Diamond's legacy lives on, not only in his unforgettable songs, but in the strength he's shown through adversity. What are your thoughts on Neil Diamond's incredible journey? Has his music made a difference in your life? Share your memories and reflections in the comments below as we honor one of the most iconic voices in music history.
Just pull yourself together.
Maggie Smith, a timeless talent whose legacy lives on. Before we begin, what's your favorite Maggie Smith role? Was it her captivating performance in the prime of Miss Jean Brodie, or her unforgettable turn as the sharp-tongued Dowager Countess in Downton Abbey? Share your memories in the comments below. Your stories help keep her incredible legacy alive. Maggie Smith passed away peacefully in London on September 27, 2024, at the age of 89. She was surrounded by her loved ones, according to her sons, actors Toby Stephens and Chris Larkin. In her final days, she received compassionate care following a series of health complications. Over an extraordinary career that spanned more than 7 decades, Maggie Smith redefined the role of the leading lady. Her accolades are a testament to her brilliance: 2 Academy Awards, 5 BAFTAs, 4 Emmys, a Tony Award, and the honor of Dame Commander of the British Empire, which she received in 1990. Whether she was enchanting audiences as the wise and formidable Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter series, or delivering razor-sharp wit as the Dowager Countess of Grantham in Downton Abbey, Maggie brought elegance, intelligence, and a commanding presence to every role. Before she became a global screen icon, she was already a star of the stage. From the Old Vic and the National Theatre to Broadway hits like Private Lives and Lettuce and Lovage, she left an indelible mark on theater with performances that blended biting humor and deep humanity. Even in the face of personal health battles, including a public fight with cancer in the 2000s, Maggie Smith continued to act with strength, grace, and her trademark sparkle. Her ability to persevere and perform with such depth inspired countless actors and audiences round the world. While her passing leaves a profound void, her legacy endures in the unforgettable characters she brought to life and the countless lives she touched through her art. Dame Maggie Smith will forever be remembered not only for her immense talent, but for the warmth, wit, and wisdom she shared with the world. Which Maggie Smith moment lives rent-free in your mind? Let us know below as we celebrate a true legend whose light will never fade.
Hurtful things, so that just compounded my own condemnation, and I went into...
Anita Bryant was a vibrant symbol of mid-20th century America. A singer, beauty queen, television personality, and one of the most polarizing cultural figures of her era. Born on March 25, 1940 in Barnsdall, Oklahoma, her talent shone early. By the age of 12, she had her own television show, and at 18, she was crowned Miss Oklahoma. A year later, she placed as second runner-up in the Miss America pageant and signed a record deal that launched her music career. With a crystal-clear soprano voice, Anita became a household name in the late 1950s and early 1960s, with hits like Paper Roses, In My Little Corner of the World, and Till There Was You. She performed for U.S. presidents, entertained American troops overseas alongside Bob Hope, and sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl. In the 1970s, she became the face of Florida orange juice, charming millions with the now iconic slogan, "A day without orange juice is like a day without sunshine." However, her career took a dramatic turn in 1977 when she launched the Save Our Children campaign, a nationwide movement opposing gay rights legislation. Her outspoken stance sparked a national uproar, led to widespread protests and significantly altered her public image. Despite the backlash and the fading of her mainstream career, Anita stood by her convictions even as she faced personal and professional challenges in the years that followed. Anita Bryant passed away peacefully on December 16, 2024, at her home in Edmond, Oklahoma, at the age of 84. She was surrounded by family and friends and is survived by her children, stepdaughters, and grandchildren. Whether remembered for her music, her activism, or the cultural moment she came to embody, Anita Bryant's life remains a complex and lasting chapter in American history.
Perception of aging and what beauty was, have a dialogue about what is beauty, if one is beautiful.
Dale Haddon was a symbol of timeless beauty, purpose, and quiet strength. Born in Canada in 1948, she rose to international prominence as one of the most iconic supermodels of the 1970s, gracing the covers of Vogue, Cosmopolitan, and Sports Illustrated. She would go on to redefine beauty standards, becoming the face of L'Oreal for over 15 years and securing historic campaigns with Revlon, Max Factor, and Estée Lauder across Europe, China, and North America. Her influence extended well beyond the runway. As an actress, she appeared in both American and European films, with notable roles in North Dallas 40, Bullets Over Broadway, and Celebrity. However, perhaps her most significant impact came later in life as a humanitarian. Dale served as a UNICEF ambassador and founded Women One, a nonprofit organization dedicated to expanding educational opportunities for girls around the world. Her advocacy combined elegance with meaningful action, inspiring countless women to view aging not as a limitation, but as a liberation. On December 27, 2024, Dale passed away at the age of 76 due to suspected carbon monoxide poisoning while visiting family in Solebury Township, Pennsylvania. Authorities confirmed that a faulty heating system caused the leak. She had been staying at the guest house of her daughter, journalist Ryan Hayden, and her son-in-law, actor Mark Blucas. In her daughter's words, Dale was a woman of great power, gifted with beauty both inside and out, and someone who uplifted others with grace and purpose. Her final message, shared days before her passing, urged others to embrace aging with dignity and courage. Dale Haddon's life was a radiant journey through the worlds of fashion, film, and philanthropy, and her legacy will continue to shine through every life she touched.
Always a fight, David. It's always a fight. It never comes easy.
Ted Kotcheff was a visionary filmmaker, producer, and storyteller whose work left an indelible mark on both cinema and television over 7 extraordinary decades. Born in Toronto in 1931 to Bulgarian immigrant parents, Kotcheff brought a global perspective and unmatched versatility to every project he undertook. He first garnered attention for directing British television dramas in the 1950s and 60s, but it was his 1971 Australian psychological thriller, Wake in Fright, that solidified his reputation as a bold, fearless director. The film captivated audiences and critics, earning a Palme d'Or nomination at Cannes and receiving praise from Martin Scorsese for its unflinching vision. In Hollywood, Kotcheff made his mark with films like Fun with Dick and Jane, North Dallas 40, and the cult classic Weekend at Bernie's. However, no film encapsulated his legacy more than First Blood, 1982, the gripping story of a Vietnam veteran portrayed by Sylvester Stallone. The film launched the iconic Rambo franchise and became a defining piece of 1980s American cinema. Later in his career, Kotcheff took on the role of executive producer for Law & Order, SVU, guiding the show through its first 13 seasons and playing a pivotal role in shaping it into one of television's most enduring dramas. Ted Kotcheff passed away on April 10th, 2025, at the age of 94, from heart failure at his home in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico, surrounded by loved ones. Remembered as a passionate and energetic visionary, he leaves behind a legacy of work that continues to influence filmmakers and captivate audiences around the world.
Again.
Yeah.
And I hear you say 40 years, and I think
Leslie Charlson was more than just a television icon. She was a constant presence in the lives of millions, a companion through decades of love, loss, and redemption. As Dr. Monica Quartermain on General Hospital, she didn't just play a character. She embodied it with dignity, grace, and quiet strength for 46 unforgettable years. From the moment she took on the role in 1977, Leslie captivated viewers with her powerful presence and emotional authenticity. Her performances resonated deeply, not only in dramatic storylines, but also in her portrayal of Monica's struggles with illness, heartbreak, and forgiveness. Her breast cancer storyline in the 1990s sparked real-world conversations, and her advocacy beyond the screen empowered countless women to feel seen and supported. Born in 1945, Leslie began her career on daytime dramas such as A Flame in the Wind and As the World Turns, later making memorable guest appearances on shows like Friends, The Rockford Files, and Marcus Welby, MD. Yet it was on General Hospital where she truly found her artistic home, becoming the heart and soul of one of soap opera's most enduring families. Leslie Charlson passed away on January 12, 2025, at the age of 79 in Los Angeles due to complications from a previous head injury. Her final appearance aired just a month earlier in December 2023, a quiet farewell that reflected the gentle strength she carried throughout her life. Those who knew her remember her warmth, wit, and the way she lifted everyone around her. For generations of viewers, she will always be Monica, an enduring symbol of resilience, compassion, and timeless storytelling. Her legacy is etched in the hearts of those who watched her character grow, heal, and persevere.
This is my fourth video that I'm doing for Classic Movie Hub. It's all in connection with
Claude Jarman Jr. embodied the youthful spirit and quiet strength of Hollywood's golden age. Born on September 27, 1934, in Nashville, Tennessee, his life was forever changed at the age of 10 when director Clarence Brown discovered him and cast him as Jody in the 1946 classic The Yearling. His performance, filled with tender depth far beyond his years, earned him the prestigious Juvenile Academy Award, presented by none other than Shirley Temple. For a time, Claude stood alongside Hollywood legends. He famously walked Fifth Avenue with a deer on a leash to promote The Yearling, studied at the MGM lot with stars like Elizabeth Taylor and Natalie Wood, and shared the screen with icons such as John Wayne in Rio Grande. His career thrived through the late 1940s and early 1950s, with notable roles in Intruder in the Dust, The Sun Comes Up, and Roughshod. As he matured, Claude stepped away from the spotlight, but he remained deeply connected to the world of film. He served as the executive director of the San Francisco International Film Festival from 1965 to 1980, becoming a passionate advocate for cinema. In 2019, he was honored with the George Gund III Craft of Cinema Award. He also authored a memoir, My Life and the Final Days of Hollywood, sharing his insights into a bygone era. Claude Jarman Jr. passed away peacefully in his sleep on January 12, 2025, at the age of 90. He is survived by his wife, Katie, and their 7 children. His legacy, built on sincerity, talent, and a lifelong devotion to the arts, continues to inspire those who cherish classic cinema, as well as the memory of the young boy who once captured hearts with a fawn by his side.
I thank the Academy, and I think I've kind of squelched any.
Tom Christopher was a distinguished American actor whose commanding presence and rich voice left an indelible mark on generations of soap opera fans. Born on October 5, 1940, in Queens, New York, he trained at Ithaca College and refined his craft at the neighborhood playhouse, laying the foundation for a remarkable career that spanned both stage and screen. Christopher became a household name in 1991 when he took on the role of the formidable Carlo Hesser on One Life to Live. With a mix of charm and menace, he brought the character to life over nearly 2 decades, captivating audiences with every plot twist. His portrayal earned him the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in 1992, along with 2 additional nominations, cementing his legacy as one of daytime television's most iconic villains. Beyond his soap opera fame, Christopher graced the Broadway stage alongside legends like Anne Baxter and Rex Harrison, and made guest appearances on popular series such as Law and Order, Murder, She Wrote, and T.J. Hooker. Off-screen, he was remembered by colleagues as gracious, intelligent, and deeply supportive, a true gentleman in every sense of the word. In his later years, Christopher faced a lengthy illness with quiet strength and dignity. He passed away peacefully on December 5, 2024, at the age of 84 in New York. His friend and journalist Stephen Bergman, who confirmed the news, recalled their final conversation as one filled with gratitude, connection, and mutual respect. Tom Christopher's legacy endures through the unforgettable characters he portrayed, the lives he touched, and the stories he told with authenticity and heart. His artistry and kindness will be deeply missed, but never forgotten.
Una variedad en el México.
Sí, como antes.
Yolanda Montes, known to the world as Tongole, was more than just a dancer. She was a living symbol of elegance, energy, and cultural transformation. Born on January 3, 1932, in Spokane, Washington, her rise to stardom began as a teenager performing in San Francisco nightclubs. By the age of 15, she had already made her way to the vibrant theaters of Mexico, where she adopted the name Tongole, inspired by African and Tahitian dance traditions. What followed was a remarkable career that helped define the golden era of Mexican cinema. With her mesmerizing movements, striking white-streaked hair, and luminous eyes, Tongole redefined stage performance. She became a sensation in films like Hanmatu Atangale, 1948, El Rey del Barrio, 1950, and Matenme Pork Mayo, 1951, later appearing in cult classics such as The Panther Women, 1967, and Island of the Snake People, 1971. Her bold, sensual style often challenged societal conventions, earning her criticism from conservative circles. However, her resilience, charisma, and undeniable grace earned her deep respect across generations. Tongole danced for the joy of it, never seeking fame, but her authenticity turned her into an icon. On April 14, 2025, she passed away peacefully at the age of 93 in Mexico City. According to Mexico's Secretary of Culture, she remained a vibrant symbol of national pride and artistic innovation until the end. Tongole's legacy endures in every stage light, every rhythm of the drum, and in every woman who dances unapologetically. For over 6 decades, she brought beauty, passion, and meaning to audiences around the world, and that flame will never fade.
It really was. And we kind of grew together.
Breaking news. What's next for the legendary Empress of Soul, Gladys Knight? Gladys Knight, the iconic voice behind timeless soul classics like Midnight Train to Georgia and Neither One of Us, has captivated audiences with her unparalleled talent and inspiring journey. Known for her powerful voice and mesmerizing performances, Knight's influence in the music world is undeniable. But in recent years, fans have been left wondering about her health and future. Following a series of public statements and health updates, Knight shocked the world during Aretha Franklin's funeral when she briefly mentioned battling cancer. However, she later clarified that she was referring to her battle with stage 1 breast cancer, not the pancreatic cancer as many had mistakenly assumed. So, what does this mean for the 74-year-old legend's future, and how has her health journey shaped the person she is today? Gladys Knight's career is a testament to resilience. She rose to fame as the lead singer of Gladys Knight and the Pips in the 1960s and 1970s, earning 6 Grammy Awards and securing a place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Known as the Empress of Soul, her musical legacy is built on unforgettable hits that have resonated with millions. Yet behind the scenes, Knight has faced personal struggles that only further define her strength. When rumors swirled that Knight had pancreatic cancer, her publicist swiftly denied the claim, clearing up the misunderstanding. The singer explained that her conversation with Franklin had been about cancer, revealing that she had successfully battled stage 1 breast cancer, thanks to early detection. "I am cancer-free and grateful for that," Knight said in her statement. It was a moment of honesty and vulnerability from a woman celebrated for her grace, as she made it clear that, despite the challenges, she had conquered one of life's greatest fears. However, Knight's health journey isn't just about battling illness. It's about how she approaches life with the same dignity and strength she's displayed in her music. In her own words, she shared how faith and perspective helped her find peace. "The Lord tells us where we are going and tells us when we are coming." Her words reflect the wisdom that comes with age and the acceptance of life's inevitable changes. Still, the road hasn't always been smooth for Knight. Despite her success and strong relationships with family and fans, Knight often reflected on the challenges of growing up in a rigid class system. She once admitted that her working-class background made it difficult to feel at ease around those she deemed upper class. This sense of humility and awareness of her roots has shaped both her career and personal life, making her not only an admired artist but also a role model. While Knight continues to face the pressures of public life, she also grapples with the losses that come with aging. The death of her dear friend and fellow soul legend, Aretha Franklin, has undoubtedly left a deep mark on her heart. But Knight has maintained her calm and acceptance. "I didn't want her to suffer," she said, recalling Franklin's strength despite her own illness. Yet Knight's resilience is not confined to her health alone. Her fight against cancer, her unwavering connection to her faith, and her ability to continue performing with grace are all reflections of the strength she has cultivated throughout her life. Even though she's not currently touring, Knight remains deeply connected to her fans, and her influence in the music industry is still profound. Her health struggles may have limited her touring, but they've only added depth to her story, making her the epitome of strength and resilience. So, what's next for Gladys Knight? While it's uncertain whether she'll return to the stage on a grand scale, it's clear that she will continue to inspire through her music, her story, and her unbreakable spirit. Even in the face of health challenges, she remains a figure of empowerment and hope for her fans, a true legend whose legacy will undoubtedly endure. Now, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite Gladys Knight song? Is it the timeless Midnight Train to Georgia? Or perhaps, If I Were Your Woman? Share your thoughts below and join us in celebrating the incredible life and legacy of a woman who continues to teach us all about resilience, grace, and the power of music.